When did you start using / loving makeup?
Well, I started using makeup probably like for beauty purposes around 11 or 12 years old. I've always done plays, I've always been in theater, so I've always kind of like dealt with makeup, but I've never really, done anything aside from that. And I had the Alame eye triplet thing for like blue eyes, despite the fact that my eyes are pretty much green now. They change color with what I wear, it's a whole big thing. And I used that, and that was like what I wore for all of middle school until I got to high school and I bought a Clinique foundation. I say I, my mom bought it for me. And that was like the moment that I was like, ooh, I love this higher end business, like love this stuff. And I really started like taking off and getting really interested in makeup and learning about it.
I think I have to start, I started with Crayola. I've always wanted eyeliner, I've always loved it, and I found a black Crayola like colored pencil, and I found out that if you dip it in water and get it super wet, it actually has some pigmentation. So I used that for a while before my mom was like, what the hell are you doing? And so I always had an appreciation for makeup even if I wasn't able to use it. And so I think when I started getting into plays and doing civic and doing things like Meet and Maria, then I got back into using actual makeup and started buying my own makeup probably around freshman year of high school. So.
Why did you choose Indiana University?
IU, go Hoosiers. I originally had no interest in either IU or Purdue, which is right next to our hometown, because I was going to Chicago. That was in my head. I was going to Chicago, and there was no stopping it. Northwestern, UC, DePaul, Loyola. I looked at all those schools, and I had been to IU for several years for camps and things. And when it came down to it, and I started thinking about colleges, the first college I got accepted to was IU, because they have a separate application process. And I was like, okay, IU. And I went to tour it, and I realized that while I was touring it, I'm like, this college has been offering me everything I was looking for in all these other colleges, and wasn't finding. And I'm like, you know what, fine, you know what, karma, life, universe, God, whatever, you win. I give up, I'm going to IU, and I loved every second of it, so.
Oh gosh, all my family has gone to IU. I'm not exaggerating in that at all. And I was for sure I was gonna go to IU until my sophomore year of high school. And around the middle of my sophomore year, I started looking into Columbia College Chicago. And I was really sold, and then I was for sure I was gonna go there for like all of my junior year. And then IU's homecoming rolled around, and I was having some second thoughts. I went to homecoming, and I was like, yep, I'm coming here. So I completely abandoned Chicago, which is like sad in some respects, but it's worked out wonderfully for me, and I can't think of doing it differently.
Why YouTube?
YouTube is an amazing community. I mean, I know I've been watching YouTube videos probably starting around, I was 9 when YouTube started getting bigger. So we were, both Maria and I were completely formed by watching YouTube videos. We were able to just go on and be like, hey, I don't know how to do this, let's YouTube it. So I know that when we both started college, we were watching YouTube videos, and I know I was trying to find information and advice, and I wasn't finding the kind of things I wanted. People who were giving me advice were like 26. I'm like, you haven't been in college when, all this
for
other
4
stuff.
years.
Yeah, for 4 years. And so I wasn't getting the kind of advice I wanted or was specifically looking for, so I'm like, you know what? Time to fill the void. So that's what we're doing.
And why YouTube?
Just like Helen, I grew up watching YouTube. I learned everything I know about makeup from YouTube. Well, not everything I know. I actually studied with a makeup artist in Indianapolis, Indiana, and learned a lot of things. But I learned a lot of stuff that I know from YouTube. And it just kind of formed me, and I've always wanted to be a part of this community in whatever small way I could be. And it's something fun. I mean, in college, there are lots of negative outlets that you can choose. There's drugs and drinking, which, if you're into that, that's great, but I'm not so much into it, so I just think this is a way better outlet for me, and it's something I've always wanted to do.
Your favorite